Incidents of Trespass. Chapter 1. Primitivo. This is the first morning in weeks when my first act, on waking up, has not been to reach for the glass pipe on my bedside table. Not because I have experienced a sudden surge of willpower. Not because I have decided to start dealing with my habit. No, because I am out of weed. I am not coping well. Stoners will tell you that weed is not addictive, and they're right. It isn't, physically. The body does not become dependent on it. But the brain does, particularly when said brain is damaged by PTSD. I have become one of those people I pitied when younger, the sort who take drugs not for fun, but for relief. I smoke so I can sleep. Yesterday, having used up the dregs of the last batch kids dropped off in the bud bomb, a metal pipe with a smaller bowl than the glass one which I only use for smoking in hotels, the design minimises the amount of smoke generated, though I always make sure to stick a sock over the smoke alarm anyway, for good measure, I went out to buy wine. I had noticed that a Primitivo I like was on offer again, but to be honest, anything would have done. If I couldn't get high, I'd get drunk. Maybe if I drank enough, that would knock me out too. I grabbed the nearest bag, a thin plastic one from Domino's Pizza. I have been relying way too much on takeout lately. I grabbed my card and keys and threw my San Francisco hoodie, the one I bought in San Francisco on my honeymoon with my ex-wife, because we were surprised how cold that city gets in August, over a vest. I did not wear a bra. I did not put on makeup. I did put on a pair of cat's eye glasses, which disguised the fact I have no eyebrows. I'm a plucker. I will pluck with tweezers where I can, but if not, I will pluck by hand, indiscriminately, ripping out hair, not just above my brow line. I can sometimes spend an hour after turning out the light feeling around under the blankets, sharply pulling follicles out of my bikini line, my balls, by hands. Yes, it hurts. You get used to the pain, to the physical kind. I stuffed the bag and my keys in one pocket of the hoodie, and the phone and my card in the other. I walked to the shop. First I went to the cash machine and withdrew £50 for Kiz. I have lied to her, slightly. I have told her I want £30 worth of weed for myself and £20 for my best friend, Valerie. In reality, it's all for me. It has been less than a week since I bought my last deal from Kiz, and I'm ashamed to have got through £30 worth of weed so quickly. So I want to buy enough to make sure it's a while before I have to call her up again. But I am also ashamed to say I have become the kind of person who spends £50 a week on drugs. So I lie. Lying, they say, is one of the signs you have a problem. I took out the money, £50 in £10 notes, folded it up and shoved it in the pocket with my debit card and phone. I went inside. I bought a bar of white chocolate and some shaving gel. The shop has recently, at long last, reduced the price of its own brand shave gel for women to the same price as the one it stocks for men. I would like to think my ranting about this on Facebook and Twitter made some small contribution, but my Twitter is niche and my Facebook friends only. It's unlikely. Despite what a bad poet told me on Facebook yesterday, I am neither a mover nor a shaker. I am moved, I am shaken, the world stays as it was. I bought some detergent for the laundry. I keep borrowing my flatmates, and had promised to replace it for him. I bought some Kenyan coffee for the AeroPress. Finally, I bought the wine. A lot of people bitch about automated checkouts, but I'm a fan. It feels easier to buy cereal, Pringles, a bottle of skimmed milk and 2 pink Lucades when you aren't worrying about the till jockey making assumptions about your lack of a balanced diet. The only things you need to see someone about in a shop these days are the shame purchases. Lottery tickets, lighters. I'm pretty sure everyone at this shop, and the niece near Valerie's too, have worked out I'm not buying all these lighters because I like scented candles. Cigarettes. And alcohol. The checkout tells me I need store approval to buy the Primitivo. When are they going to fit these things with cameras? Even if the damn things read me as mail, they wouldn't be able to miss the crow's feet around my eyes. I could buy goods without any human interaction at all. A golden age for gluttony. Instead, I need to have the stern gaze of authority decide if I am fit to purchase alcohol. Said stern gaze coming from the boy on the till, who is cute, and probably half my age. "You're right there," he says, coming over, surprisingly eager. His voice is soft, a little camp even. Could mean nothing. A surprising number of straight guys in Newcastle have the campest sounding voices. It's weird. I just need approval for the wine, I mumble, hoping he hasn't noticed me take a step back. Oh, okay. He taps the screen, punches in a code, whatever sorcery it is they're trained to do to allow socially anxious drunks like me to purchase booze without a robot's disapproval. Do you need a bag? I have one, I say, taking it out of my pocket. Somehow I feel humiliated that it's from Domino's. I want to laugh it off, make some kind of joke about it. Yeah, I eat pizza, who'd have guessed with a body like this, huh? But I don't. I'm not on stage. I'm not made up. I haven't even shaved. I came down here because I wanted to buy booze and a few other things with as little social interaction as possible. I had thought of having the hood up, wearing sunglasses, but this seemed an ostentatious try for anonymity. My name's not Brittany. I want to make clear at this point that my discomfort with this kid is not because of homophobia. I'm pretty much a dyke myself, though there are some boys I fancy. I could quite fancy this boy if he wasn't, a boy, by which I mean his age, not his gender. At 38 years old, I am already starting to attract messages on Fab Swingers and Badoo from young men looking for their Mrs. Robinson with added cock, and it is wearying. So no, it isn't because this kid is possibly gay, it's because he seems to be taking an interest. Of course, there is a whole realm of intellectual gymnastics I could get into here about why he's taking an interest. Does he see me as a girl or a guy? Etc. But let's not get into that, because if we do, I am probably going to need 2 bottles of the Primitivo, which I could totally get at these prices, but Kiz is coming over early tomorrow and I do not need a hangover for that. I'm afraid that Kiz might be taking an interest. She ends her text messages to me with kisses, sometimes multiples. She sends unnecessary follow-up texts, laughing at typos in the previous ones. She tells me she will always give me her best strains. She calls me darling and compliments me on how I look when I go out to her car to pick up. Because Kiz is a fit butch, part of me likes this, but part of me feels uneasy. Like I said, PTSD. I didn't get it from something a man did. And what if she hasn't figured out I'm trans? Or what if she has and I'm just an item on her lesbian bucket list? I shagged one of them once. Good fingering. Never took her pants off, though. This is part of the reason I want to space out Kiz's visits more. If I see her less, I feel less stress. It's self-care, like the smoking. I'm not going to lie. Part of me has wondered about getting with Kiz just in order to score free or discount weed. I'm aware of what this would make me. I have no objection to sex work in principle, but I'm not sure how good giving it up, even to a fit, charming butch, in return for getting high, would be for my already fragile psyche. I tell myself it's unlikely in game theory terms that Kiz would sacrifice the fat profits to be made from keeping our relationship strictly business just for the chance of jumping my equally fat ass. But I'm not entirely sure. I worry. I get the wine, the detergent, the coffee, the shave gel and the chocolate into the bag, which seems to sag under the weight. How do Domino's manage to make these things so shiny and so weak? Best carried underarm, I think. Hold it by the bottom instead of the handles, just to make sure the wine makes it back without smashing. I get away from the till as quickly as possible. The straight couple behind me are practically DPing me, they're so fucking close, and head for the door, where the cute boy is standing. Now, I used to work retail. Borders, 4 years, would still have been there if the idiots running that chain hadn't ran it straight into the ground. So I know when staff do shit deliberately and there are still other customers in this store, there is still other stuff to do besides saying thank you, see you later, and smiling as I leave, and so I know that means this little shit is doing this deliberately. To fuck with me, probably. Maybe he just likes to pick on fat, nerdy chicks. Maybe he finds it amusing to see a trans woman without her makeup on. Maybe he might even be hoping for the money shot of a stray hair that laser surgery and tweezing somehow missed sticking out of my chin. Maybe having a good old chuckle about what a fucking wreck I look will keep him going until he closes out in 10 minutes. I don't know, but I am seriously thinking of shopping at Asda from now on. A car nearly runs me over at the traffic lights. This roundabout is lethal, and you feel the hatred glowering off the drivers as they wait. I've seen the aftermath of more than one crash in the time I've lived here. Tempers fray. The ironic thing is, I'm suicidal, I shout. You should have sped up anyway, you entitled fucking prick. As I pass the billboard at the bottom of my street, I switch to carrying the Domino's bag by its overstretched handles. If the wine hits the pavement, I think, that's just what I deserve.